What's up YouTube? And in this video we're going to be talking about facts about the first day of school, and I'm going to tell you what you need on the first day of school and what we do on it. Alright, so let's get to this video, shall we? Alright, so now I'm going to tell you what we do on the first day of school, and also I'm going to tell you what you're going to need when you enter in your first day of school. Now before we get to this, just so you know, in June, a few months ago, I made a video on me talking about facts about the last day of school. So if you guys haven't checked out that video, I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can check that out. But you can see the first day and the last day of school. It is somehow similar, but me personally, it's different, you know. First day of school, this is the very beginning of the school year, and the last day, this is the very end of the school year. Which means after this, you go on summer vacation and you can have all that fun, especially in that beautiful summer weather. Alright, now I'm going to be talking about what we do and what we need on the first day of school. Okay, so first off, depending on which country that you're at, school starts in August, in the very late August to the very beginning of September. In the northern atmosphere, and on the southern atmosphere it would start in January or February, like the end of January or the beginning of February. This is in the southern atmosphere. Like for example, that's when school starts in Australia. For example, in Australia it would start in January or February, but in the other side, in the United States, it would start in August or September. You know, it's different, you know. It is different in different countries, so different countries will differ. So now I'm going to tell you the school supplies that you're going to need. So these are the school supplies, and there's a lot, honestly. I don't know if I could tell you all of them, but I'll tell you school supplies that I know of what you need. Okay, first off, you're going to need notebooks, which is very important. Notebooks is so you can take notes and write down what you're going to do, what you're going to study. And let me give you an example. For example, that this is what we need to study, or this is for our homework tonight. I write it down in the notebook so I don't forget, and then I collect what I get, and then I revise it and study it. Also do my homework if I have it. So I'll tell you, I love notebooks. I'll tell you, I've collected plenty of notebooks. I've collected small ones, I've collected medium ones, I've collected big ones, and I've gotten some from the United States, and some of them I've gotten from here in Egypt, which I'll tell you, I love these notebooks. They're good looking, and that's why I decided to make a collection out of it. So maybe in the future videos, if possible, I'll make a video on talking about my collection of the notebooks, if possible. So stay tuned for that if I make it. Another one is you're going to need pencils and pens, which I'll tell you, here are the classic pencils that many people use in school or whatever. So this is what you use, pencils. So you write it, and if you need to erase, then you got the eraser on the back. You just erase it. But here we also have erasers in case if you don't want to use the erasers on the pencils, which wouldn't be enough. So here we have those classic erasers, which they're pink, but we also have different types of erasers. There are different shapes, there are different themes and foods and stuff. You can see this is what it looks like. There are different types of erasers. And also, you also need pens, depending on which grade you're in. So for example, you're in elementary school or middle school, whatever, you're going to need pencils. But if you're in late middle school or in high school or even college, university, you're going to need pens. This is what you need. And pens is like pencils, but you use ink. And if you make a mistake when you write it, unfortunately you cannot erase it. You're gonna have to be really careful that you don't make any mistakes. Also, you're going to need calculators depending on which grade you're at. So if you're in elementary or middle school, you could just use a classic calculator. Like, you don't need anything that crazy. But if you're in high school or in university, you're gonna have to use a scientific calculator, which I'll tell you, this is what it looks like. This is a scientific calculator that you're going to use in high school or even college. And I even got one right here. You can see this is the scientific calculator I got. Focus it, because my other phone has auto-focusing on the front. You can see this is what the scientific calculator looks like. You can see Casio. This is what the calculator looks like. This is what the scientific calculator looks like. This is what I have. This is what I use in school, because in some lessons I've taken in math, that's why I needed to use a calculator. So those are the school supplies that you're going to need. And there is more school supplies, by the way, but I'm not sure about it. Oh, but there's also crayons. You're going to need crayons when you go to school. But in elementary school, or if you're in kindergarten, you do need crayons in those grades. But if you're in higher grades, like for example middle school or high school, you don't need crayons. That stuff is like for kids these days. Kids these days, they love to color with crayons. Especially me personally. If I'm drawing a picture, I love to color in with the crayons, because I do not like to make so much ink all over the place and make it bleed through the paper. It's not gonna look good. So those are the supplies that you're going to need for school. And there is a lot more, like I say, but I don't know the whole thing about it. Now, for the school lunches, for the first day of school lunches, it depends. It depends on which country that you're at. For example, if you're in the United States, you can get school lunches like sandwiches or cheese sandwiches. You could also have chicken nuggets and french fries, or fish sticks. Chicken nuggets, fish sticks, and french fries, which is stuff that I really like, especially when I was little. I used to eat that a lot, especially when I was at school. Another thing is you can also have fruit, or even fruit juice as well. There's a lot of things in different countries. It just depends. It depends on which country you're at on the first day of school. Not all lunches in the world is the same, just so you know. So that's just me talking briefly about the first day of school. Now I'm going to get to the conclusions. Okay, so in conclusion, I really do like the first day of school, especially exploring new things, learning new stuff every day, and changing up the routines every now and then, Now, me personally, I like summer vacation. I really like to be on vacation, just relaxing, enjoying myself and all that. But don't get me wrong, I do like the first day of school, especially changing things up a bit and getting back to routine, things like that. But in school, there could be some fails sometimes, and some people could be unlucky during the day. Like for example, you wake up late and you only have like 10 or so minutes to get ready before the bus comes, or somebody drop you off at school. You know what? That's what it happens. It happens to us. Like when I was younger, I woke up late and I almost missed the van, or sometimes I miss the van, which means I need somebody to drop me off at school, or otherwise I'm going to miss school or be late. Which it happens sometimes, Or sometimes you forget your lunch. Which means you're stuck. Sometimes you're gonna have to pay with school money, which I hope it doesn't happen with me when I go to high school. But when I was in elementary and middle school, I didn't need to use school money. It wasn't necessary in my school. Which it happens. They forget their lunch, or they don't have any school money, then they're trapped. They can't do anything about it. Or sometimes they forget their homework by accident. They forget their homework and they lose points. Or no matter how hard you studied, you failed the quiz. You got an F, for example, here. Which it happens. It happens to all of us, unfortunately. And that's just the unlucky things that happens to us on the first day of school. It happens to a lot of people. But anyway, so that's the conclusions of me talking about the first day of school. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was brief of me talking about the first day of school. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to check out my last video on me talking about the last day of school, the link will be in the description. Alright, so I'll see you guys again in the next video. Peace.